for a few more moments, and then you're down to the cocktails, and I'll be the first one out the door. Okay? So please, give me just one moment. Thank you all for your most generous personal contributions this evening to HIF's programs. My name's Maida Townsley, and that's a little different for me to say, but I guess I'm starting to get used to it. I'm the Executive Director of the Housing Industry Foundation, and we've established the Summit Award as a way to recognize someone in the housing industry who is actively involved with HIF and who has made an extraordinary contribution. It's my great privilege tonight to present our 2015 Summit Award to a gentleman that I've known since I joined HIF's board in 1999. Mr. Rod Standard is one of the most amazing individuals I've ever worked with. For me, he has been a trustworthy confidant who is always willing to lend a thoughtful, calm, and wise ear. Rod joined HIF's board in 1998. He's kept his promise to HIF by playing a significant leadership role on our board of directors. He was once a board president and has served on our executive committee since 2005. Rod embodies Alex's "because I said I would" commitment in everything he does for the community through HIF. In 2006, when HIF was funding only $20,000 a month in emergency housing grants, Rod pioneered our VIP program by recruiting industry friends to each personally fund one more emergency housing grant. This program continues today and empowers us to save up to 5 additional families from homelessness. Rod is also one of our go-to experts for our renovation projects. His 35+ years of experience in building and renovating residential and commercial properties made him an ideal committee chair for our renovation program. I asked several of Rod's closest friends and colleagues about Rod keeping his promises. All of them were eager to share their thoughts about Rod, and here's what they said. Rod is a gentleman, cherished friend and colleague, an example of grace and good humor for all of us to admire. He's one of those people who make an impression on you the first time you meet him. Truly genuine and generous with his time and friendships, Rod is a champion advocate and articulate promoter of HIF. And through his strong relationships, he's inspired many of you in this room to become involved with HIF, whether as a donor, volunteer, or supplier of goods and services. When I first met Rod, it was easy to see he was a man of conviction. He never mixes words and he gets straight to the point. Rod is wise behind his years and willing to share what he knows freely with those who ask. He's truly one of the most magnanimous people I've ever had the honor to know. Rod has a quiet but strong desire to give back by contributing countless hours that few of us ever see. I see a lot more of them than you would. He doesn't want the attention or kudos for the time he gives. He finds the work in its own reward. Rod looks you in the eye, he shakes your hand with a firm grip, he means every word that he says, and he keeps every promise that he makes. On behalf of HIF's board, please join me in recognizing HIF's 2015 Summit Award honoree, Mr. Rod Standard. Without the promises Rod has made and kept, HIF would not be what it is today. Many of you may or may not be aware, but Rod is currently on a leave of absence from the Sobrato organization, so he's not with us tonight. Accepting on his behalf our past Summit Award honoree, Mr. Ron Granville.
want to know is when you stand up here, you can't see. All of you could have left, and I wouldn't know it. That light is there. I don't stand a chance. The second thing I want to say is, if you look at the pledge card, those of you that know Rod, he's right there staring at you while you fill it out. And he's going to know, so make sure you do a good job with it, okay? You know, I'm proud to accept this award on Rod's behalf. I spoke to Rod yesterday, and he asked me to thank the board and everyone who's here tonight, because what you give to HIF, what you contribute, really makes HIF possible. I've known Rod for a long time. I won't tell you how long, because then you know how old he is. But I know that he would never say anything about himself. He's just not that kind of guy. Made us said a few things, and it turns out our minds work alike, so I might be a little bit redundant, but Rod's been on the HIF board for 17 years. And if you've ever served on any type of board of directors, be it a nonprofit or business, you know that sometimes it's hard to reach a consensus. A lot of strong-willed people are there. Rod doesn't really have a problem with that. He can speak his mind in such a way that it helps the board see that reasoned insight that he has and kind of snaps into line and moves forward. As Rod, as Mita also mentioned, Rod was a leader in the founding of the VIP program. It's a very unique program. I know I've been involved with it for many years because Rod asked me to. You know, that's the first thing when you start something, you get to be the one to make the phone calls and say, wouldn't you like to do this? And write a check. Rod wasn't ever bothered by asking that either. But, you know, HIF does have limited resources. So each month we have a certain budget on how many grants we can give, and I gotta tell you, it's never enough money. We raise twice as much money now as we did in past years, and it's still not enough. So what this program does is it matches an individual donor to an individual grant when HIF runs out of money for that month. Since its inception, the VIP program has made over 400 grants. Without that program, many people will just not receive the help that they need. He's also taken on a leadership role in many of the renovation programs that HIF does, and his knowledge of property and construction management has really allowed us to get the most out of the resources that we have and benefit those who live in the facilities that we've renovated. Rod gave me some personal comments to make, so I'm going to read those. Hopefully I won't mess it up. Until very recently, it would have been difficult for me to ever imagine not attending this annual summit. I'm deeply grateful and appreciative the board has chosen to honor my efforts for doing a little more than what came naturally and always felt right. If someone was receiving gifts or a helping hand in the process of any of my efforts over the years with HIF, it was as much me as anyone on the other end. The irony of not being here tonight, particularly given the underlying theme, because I said I would, will long remind me of how much HIF means to me personally. It's a personal choice. It's a personal choice to choose to give back, and not everyone can or will follow that path. My wish for each of you tonight is that you have a good time, enjoy the evening, get home safely, and if your comfort level leads you to support HIF in any manner, all the better. Best wishes to each of you. I would like to add that one of the benefits of being on the board is we get to see some of the people who get the grants that HIF makes. The people HIF helps are good, hardworking people. They just have come up against some large life challenge. HIF gives them a hand to overcome that challenge and to move on with their lives. And when you get to meet some of those people, you realize just how meaningful that is. And you also sometimes realize, again, just how lucky all of us are. So please, continue your support of HIF, and please join with me in giving Rod a great round of applause for all he's given to HIF. Thank you.
Ron, I appreciate it. So, we've gotten to the end. We're just a little bit late, but it's because you guys all talk so much and hang out with each other and you don't want to come up and eat your dinner. So, on behalf of the HIF board, we thank you all. Because I said I would, we'll be selling merchandise outside, and they're donating No, all. It was 50% at 4 p.m. and now it's 100% of the proceeds to HIF. Thank you very much, Alex. See, George and Leslie and Ines, if you signed up for silent auction items, and thank you for all of you who donated those auction items. It was incredible. It was a lot of work to put them together, but thank you so much. You were all so generous. Take home the centerpieces. I'll keep donating, texting, keep doing your pledge cards. We'll collect your pledge cards. We'll take your texts. Thank you all so very much. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's a record summit raised tonight because of all of your contributions and your sponsorships. We truly, truly appreciate it. I'll be calling Rod tomorrow to tell him the total number before I tell any of you. So thank you very much for your attention. We truly appreciate it. Go downstairs and have a cocktail and buy me 2 or 3. Thank you so much.